We are kicking off our off-season recaps, division by division.
What?
This will lead us to, I believe, July 1st or 2nd.
I hope so.
8 divisions to cover.
That'd be cool.
Let's get it started. So this week, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing the AFC East. So shout out Matt Johnson. He's the one that got us all this information. He dug up all the happenings of each team, what they did, who they drafted, who they cut, who they signed. He did all the research for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into that. Let's start with the one and only Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
The Bills finished last season 11-6. Their offensive rankings, in terms of points for, they were number 6 in the league, number 4 in yards for, number 8 in passing yards, number 7 in rushing yards, and then on the defensive side, they were ranked number 4 in points allowed, 9 in yards allowed, 7 in pass defense, and 15 in rush defense. In terms of their free agency, some of their key losses were obviously Stephon Diggs.
The whole team
was traded to the Houston Texans. Jordan Poyer, who signed with the Miami Dolphins. Mitch Morse, center, who signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trey White, he signed with the LA Rams. Gabe Davis is heading down to Duval. He's going to be jagging off with Mitch Morse. Terrell Dawson, the Seahawks. Leonard Floyd, the Niners. And there is a lot more, but those were their key losses there. Key additions.
Okay. Yeah.
Curtis Samuel from the Commanders. Filled the backup quarterback position, Mitchell Trubisky. Not really other key additions there. Those are the main couple, but they had a hell of a draft.
Solid
in my
draft.
opinion. We're not going to run through their whole draft because they had a lot of picks. But their top guys were Keon Coleman, wide receiver out of Florida State, who they took in the second round. Cole Bishop, safety out of Utah in the second round as well. Dwayne Carter, defensive tackle out of Duke in the third round. Ray Davis, running back out of Kentucky in the fourth round. So those are the top guys that they drafted in this past draft. Brother Bren, what do you think of the Bills offseason as whole? But before we get into that, Matt Johnson has their free agency graded at a C- and the draft grade at a B.
I think I agree with Matt. The free agency was we lost a lot. We gained a little bit back, but we weren't able to fully hit what we lost. But good draft. It kind of got my hopes back up. So I can't be mad. You know, Curtis Samuel, he's going to be solid. Obviously not Stephon Diggs, but definitely serviceable. Him and Keon Coleman. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, because I would say, like, it was definitely doomsday for a little bit for Buffalo.
Yes.
When they made all those major cuts. And like, sad part is that, like, we knew it was all going to come at some point, just with the whole salary cap situation.
Kept pushing it back.
But we remember when the week of the Stephon Diggs trade rumors were leading up. I didn't think they were actually going to pull the trigger on it, but obviously they ended up doing it that week after I said they weren't going to do it. So he obviously gets traded to the Houston Texans. A lot of people weren't too happy with the trade compensation in return, but all I said leading up to the draft is we'll see how Brandon Beane answers with these draft picks. I think he fucking hit a home run. I mean, we won't officially find out until they get the cleats on the field and get going there, but in terms of the positions, and he addressed their losses, got the wide receiver, backup running back, got himself a new center, some safeties, and I think Keon Coleman's going to be that guy. His personality is just through the roof. I think he's going to get along great with Josh Allen. I mean, he's go up and get it, physical receiver type of guy. And if any of you guys have listened to any of his interviews recently, all he cares about is football and his quarterback, and he wants to be on the same page with his quarterback at all times. Very bright for a 20-year-old, and I think he's going to be that dude. A lot of people – listen, let me address something. So instead of getting off Moranto's lawn, I'm going to tell y'all to get off my lawn.
What?
Because what I've been seeing recently, we got to stop this criticism of these fucking rookie minicamp videos, bro.
Why? What happened now?
Everyone's overreacting with the Xavier Worthy drop. Oh, look, he fits it right with the Chiefs, gets a drop. Then there's another clip where he just fucking flames the cornerback. I don't even know if that cornerback's going to end up making that team. Yeah, look what the Bills just let the Chiefs get the receiver they wanted. It's a fucking training camp video, bro. We're not even talking. We're talking about practice.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I saw JJ throw a terrible throw to a coach, and he was just chilling there.
That shit happens, bro.
Yeah, but it was like from me to the door. Like, it was bad.
Sorry about it. So you're gonna be ass in the NFL? That's what a lot of people are saying.
I'm just saying it's not a good look.
Watch this film, bro. As Jamar Chase mentioned, and before I get to that, they're also going at Keon Coleman. He's running these slow ass routes. He ain't going to be shit. Watch the film on field.
He runs different during the game.
Let's remember what Jamar Chase said going into his rookie season in training camp. If we recall, he also had some ass fucking clips out of those rookie mini camps. He looked like shit.
I remember that. Yeah.
And he said it actually, I never thought about this. He said it takes time to get acclimated to the NFL ball because mainly for the main reason, NCAA balls have those white strips on them. The NFL balls don't. So he said it's tougher to see the NFL balls without that white stripe. Look at Jamar Chase now, one of the best receivers in the league.
How you doing?
So can we just give these guys some fucking time? Jesus Christ. I know there's not a lot to talk about. All right.
It's also the internet too.
It's also the internet, but
you gotta know what you're taking.
Can we just relax? You know what I mean?
Nah, people can't relax. On the internet?
We talking about practice.
There are a bunch of haters out there. What are we talking about?
So anywho,
you know how people do.
Just want to get that off my chest. Get off my lawn.
You all right now?
I'm good.
Okay.
I had my moment. So the win total for the season for the Buffalo Bills is at 10.5, which we just went over their opponents. They got a tough schedule. It's not too favorable for the Buffalo Bills. I think it is the 14th hardest, or no, I'm sorry, the second hardest schedule in the league. I'd read that reverse because the chart I seen was the easiest schedule.
Yeah.
In the AFC, second hardest schedule in the AFC behind the New England Patriots. I don't know, bro. If they stay healthy and the rookies step up and make an impact right away, which we will see if they do or not. I do think they will either this season or within the next 2 seasons. I think Ray Davis is going to be a problem when he gets his touches. He was in my opinion, one of the best running backs in this draft.
He was good.
Definitely under the radar. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. We'll see a full season with him in the Joe Brady offense. And I actually do like the addition of Curtis Samuel. Last time the only time he had a 1,000-yard season was with Joe Brady at the Carolina Panthers. So, and who do you have? Fucking Sam Darnold?
Probably.
Give him Josh Allen. We'll see what he does. Yeah, set at 10.5. We'll see how that plays out. But overall, I don't like giving grades out because, I mean,
it's tough to say.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'll let you know my opinion when I see these motherfuckers play. But on paper, I think they had a hell of an offseason. Better than some Bills fans may think. Moving on, though.
To the sun.
Let's head down to the Sunshine State.
Please.
The Miami Dolphins. They were also 11-6 last season. Finished second in the AFC East. In terms of their 2023 offensive rankings, they were second in points for, 1 in yards for, 1 in passing yards, and 6 in rushing yards. On the other side of the ball, they're 22 in points allowed, 10 in yards allowed, 15 in passing defense, and 7 in rushing defense. Some of the key losses, obviously, we kind of touched on it. Christian Wilkins doesn't get any tougher than that, losing a guy like him. 3 technique. Sure. He's going to Vegas to play next to Max Crosby. That's going to be a scary sight. But Josh Allen, he could be thankful because he ain't going to get his nuts grabbed on no more. So,
But now he's got to worry about Chop Robinson. So,
yeah, we'll get to Chop in a second.
yeah.
But they also lost Robert Hunt, guard, who signed with the Carolina Panthers, Brandon Jones, safety, the Denver Broncos, Andrew Van Ginkel, linebacker,
That's
who
a big
went
one
to
for
the
them.
Minnesota Vikings. Yes, for sure. Xavier Howard is still a free agent, who they cut early on in the offseason. Some additions, some key additions for the Miami Dolphins, which, like I mentioned, just like the Bills, they definitely answered the voids that they left out there. Jordan Brooks, linebacker from the Seattle Seahawks. Kendall Fuller, cornerback from the Washington Commanders. Then obviously Jordan Poyer, Sharon Neal from the Bills. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It hurts.
And then Shaquille Barrett, linebacker from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In terms of their draft, as Brother Brent just mentioned, they got themselves Chop Robinson, edge out of Penn State in the first round.
Damn it.
Patrick Paul, offensive tackle out of Houston in the second round. And then under the radar, I think this is going to be a scary pick for them. Jalen Wright, running back out of Tennessee, volunteers in the fourth round. His comp was Raheem Mostert, and he's teammates with Raheem Mostert. That's going to be a scary sight in that Mike McDaniel offense. So, Brother Ben, what is your reaction and thoughts on the Miami Dolphins offseason?
Well, I thought you were going to say Mohamed Kamara, the edge from Colorado. That's a sneaky pick right there for them.
That's your sleeper pick, dude?
Yeah, another edge rusher. Yeah. So kind of same thing with the Bills, but they got a little better for what they got back in free agency. So this much better than the Bills offseason.
Just that much?
That's it.
So
Matt just replaced their guys with slightly better guys. I'll say that.
So Matt Johnson got their free agency grade at a B and their draft at a B.
Yeah, that seems solid.
Like I said, I mean, we know that in the NFL nowadays, unless you have like a Jonathan Taylor or Christian McCaffrey, you're going to have a rotation in the running back room. Bro, Jalen Wright was also one of the best running backs in this draft, top 3 for sure, right behind Jordan Brooks out of Texas. He went to Carolina, but put him next to Devon A-Chain. I mean, we'll see what happens with Mostert and what's the other one? He was in San Francisco too.
Wilson?
Jeff Wilson, yep.
Yeah.
I think he missed some time last year with some injury, but
that's why you get more.
They got a fucking solid running back room, especially for where they come. What I say they ranked in rushing yards, 6. So I can definitely see an increase in that this year, depending on how their offensive line plays.
They also got Odell.
They did sign Odell. This was written before Odell signed.
Yeah.
Pretty good, bro.
I told you, just they got better with who they've replaced
and who they lost. Really.
Yeah.
Well, Tua's gonna get paid.
I just hate hearing that.
Yeah, say it again. Tua is gonna get paid.
I still don't like it.
So the Miami Dolphins are, in terms of their win total, set at 9.5. I feel like that's a fair number for them. Especially, I mean, on paper, losing Christian Wilkins, like we mentioned, that's fucking tough. That was going to take your win total down a little bit, but we'll see how the Miami Dolphins do. I definitely agree with. Like I said, I'm not a grading guy, but I think B is fair.
There we go.
New England Patriots. They fucking were absolute crop last season. 4-13. They obviously had the 3rd overall pick this year. In terms of their offensive rankings, 31 in points for, 30 in yards for, 28 in passing yards, 26 in rushing yards.
Terrible.
On the defensive side, slightly better. 15 in points allowed, 7 in yards allowed, 11 in passing defense, and actually 4th in rushing defense. So their defense,
not bad.
You could probably say they're the reason why they won those 4 games.
For sure.
Absolutely atrocious.
For sure.
So 2024 free agency, their key losses. 1, their head coach, Bill Belichick.
Big loss.
First and foremost.
Huge loss.
Mac Jones was traded to the Jaguars. Trenton Brown, offensive tackle, signed with the Cincinnati Bengals. Zeke Elliott went back to the Dallas Cowboys. Mike Gesicki, tight end, also went to the Cincinnati Bengals. J.C. Jackson is still a free agent right now. And then obviously Matthew Slater, the special teams GOAT, retired this past season.
End of an era for them.
Yeah. Also, keep an eye out on this guy, Lawrence Guy, defensive tackle. He's still a free agent as well. He could be a key veteran addition to a team out there.
He's solid.
Key additions: Gerard Mayo, head coach, promoted from the defensive coordinator.
New era.
Sion Takitaki, linebacker out of Cleveland Browns. Say his name.
No, you're right. Taki.
I want to hear you say it.
Sion Taki.
Maranta.
I'm not doing it.
Sion Taki.
Austin Hooper, tight end from the Raiders. KJ Osborne, wide receiver from the Vikings. And then obviously Jacoby Brissett, the $12 million bridge quarterback signed from the Commanders. In terms of their draft, they obviously went with who they probably think will be the franchise quarterback of the future. Drake May, quarterback out of UNC in the first round. Jalen Polk, wide receiver from Washington in the second round.
Great pick.
And then also Javon Walker. Or no, not Walker. Javon Baker, wide receiver. I mixed Baker and wide receiver. That's where that's
I see what you did.
Javon Baker, wide receiver out of Central Florida, who he stated that he can make people in wheelchairs stand up. So I can't wait to see what he does on the field. They got him in the fourth round. I mean, again, address what they needed. Obviously, you got to go get your franchise quarterback. Right.
Had to.
I mean, people are pretty critical of him. I mean, his team, North Carolina fucking stunk. I don't know what you want me to do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because he could have easily hit the transfer portal and go to like fucking Alabama, anywhere. But he decided to be true to his craft and stick with the UNC Tar Heels. Brother Brennan, what are you thinking of the Patriots offseason?
Well, to go back to Drake May really quick, because they were like, yeah, so who do you like model your game after? He's like, Josh Allen, like, we're kind of the same size, same arm ability.
Big
gonna
white,
face him twice a year.
Big white quarterback who run the
Big
ball
arm.
and got a big arm.
Yeah, so that's great for him. And then the Patriots also got Joe Milton, which they said, well, why not get him? Extra asset, another big arm.
Yeah, I think with Joe Milton, I think he's going to be crucial for them. I don't think he's going to be playing at all this year, but
probably not. I don't think Drake May's going to play.
He's the prototypical quarterback that is a quarterback in this NFL.
What?
Big arm, very mobile, can do it all. So I think he's going to be their practice squad quarterback.
Big guy.
Yeah. Especially when they play teams like the Bills leading up to that year. Or
Colts.
that week, Colts, Anthony Richardson.
Almost half the league now because they're all massive with big arms.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I mean, the Patriots did what they had to do. Obviously, turning the page on the Bill Belichick chapter of 20 years of nothing but success other than his last season.
They're getting the groundwork going. All the young guys.
Yeah, man.
Should be good. So
there was a quote that came out today. I can't remember what player it was, but he was asked about Gerard Mayo as a coach. And he's like, yeah, he's typical players coach. He's there for the guys. He was one of us at one point. So we could definitely like understand his perspective. And, he said that's someone you want to play for. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Brought back the basketball court in the facility that Bill
shit.
Belichick took out 24 years ago.
Jeez.
So, yeah, we'll see about the Patriots. Their win totals on the season, I expect it not to be too crazy. You got to scroll a little bit for this one. 4.5. I mean, like I mentioned when we're talking about the Bills, they got the hardest schedule in the AFC. I don't have their opponents in front of me, but if Drake May ends up playing at some point, even Jacoby Brissett, I can see them going over.
Really?
I can see him hitting 5.
No.
I don't think their defense was a lot better than a 4-13 team. I think just like last year, they'll keep them in most games, but I don't know, man. What do you think?
I think they'll stay at 4.
Ass.
It'll be more competitive this year, but I think they'll stick at 4 wins. It just won't look as bad. That's all.
And then lastly, we got Moranto's New York ifs.
Jets.
Why are they my New York Jets?
Because you always get fired up.
It's your favorite team.
Even when we don't talk about them, you bring them up. You do it to yourself.
They're not my New York Jets. I don't think they're anybody's New York Jets.
They're your New York ifs.
They're my New York. But I'll do the thing. They're even in New York. They're the New Jersey Jets. I'm sick of that though. I will say that I'm tired of that joke. Okay, we get it.
Get the F off my lawn.
We get it. Just let it go. Push the fish. It's fine. Let it go. We get it.
So the New York Jets were 7-10 last season. Ranked
Super Bowl, baby.
They won the offseason Super Bowl last year. This year is the Houston Texans. Anyway,
They would have, man. They would have won it.
the offensive ratings for the Jets: 29 in points, fourth. 31 in yards, fourth. 30 in passing yards, and 23 in rushing yards. On the defensive side, though, the complete opposite, actually. 12 in points allowed, 3 in yards allowed, 2 in passing defense, and 25 in rushing defense.
What a flop.
Literally the complete opposite on
Yeah.
both sides of the ball. Literally, I mean, you can make an argument they were the best defensive team in the league, especially on paper, too. They got
Yeah,
nothing
they're
but
definitely
dogs.
up there.
And craziest part is they added to it. But before we get to the additions, let's get to some of their losses. They obviously traded Zach Wilson to the Denver Broncos. They lost Bryce Huff to the Philadelphia Eagles. Any other big ones here? Mekhi Becton was signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. And then their other old-ass players are still free agents.
Yeah, pretty much.
Some of their big additions, like I
Huge
mentioned
additions.
on the defense, is like huge, like Billy Fuchello back in the day. Linebacker or edge rusher, whatever you want to consider him.
Both.
Hassan Reddick, they acquired in a trade from the Eagles.
Big pickup.
Got themselves a new backup quarterback in Tyrod Taylor, who won some games for the Giants last season. Let's not forget that. They got Mike Williams from the L.A. Chargers, Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle from the San Francisco 49ers, Tyron Smith, offensive tackle from the Cowboys, and Isaiah Oliver, cornerback from the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously,
Got 2 Niners.
most of those names I mentioned on the defensive side.
Yeah. 2 Niners are going to know the playbook pretty well because they probably played under Saleh. So that's good for them.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick, great pickup.
I did not know that they were going to be in the mix for him because remember, we were talking
Nobody.
because it was rumored that they weren't going to bring Bryce Huff back. Excuse me. But if you remember when we were talking about it, when the trade happened, it was like Hassan Reddick is, I think, is like 3 years older than Bryce Huff.
Mm-hmm.
Got paid just about the same.
Pretty much.
Why would you want to, if you're paying that money, why are you paying it to an older player compared to your young stud and Bryce Huff? It beats me. Essentially, they traded the player, but I don't know. But in terms of their draft, they threw curveball at us. We thought they were going to go Brock Bowers, an addition for Aaron Rodgers.
Would've helped.
Side, but instead, they went with the young Alu Fashanu, offensive tackle out of Penn State.
They went with
in
the safer
first
pick
round.
there.
Yeah, I mean,
Had to.
like I said, the New York ifs. They could be good if they stay healthy. So obviously, Tyron Smith has had some injury issues the past couple seasons. So they got a backup plan for Shanu. Malachi Corley, wide receiver out of Western Kentucky in the 3rd round. Braylon Allen, which I think was an interesting pick for them, running back out of Wisconsin in the 4th round. And then, potentially Aaron Rodgers' successor, Jordan Travis out of Florida State.
We'll see.
In the 5th round. What do you think about the Jets?
Yeah, so the draft's kind of, they did what they had to do. But their offseason pickups, crazy. Free agency, they only got better.
Well, Matt
in,
Johnson.
Every aspect.
Matt Johnson thinks the opposite. He got them at a C+ for free agency.
damn.
He didn't like it.
You don't like it?
Nah.
It's because they're old. I get it.
Maybe. Maybe it's because for the reason I mentioned. They paid the same money to Hassan Reddick than they would a younger Bryce Huff. But he gave him a B- in the draft.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Sorry, I was getting breaking news. We'll address that in a second.
That's why I didn't say nothing. Yep.
But yeah, I think they had a solid draft. I mean, typical. I'm probably going to say this for every fucking team that we cover, but we'll see what they do. They address the needs.
Yeah.
Got some backup plans in there. But like I was mentioning with Braylon Allen, like I think he's going to be solid. He's like
Think
JT Jr.
JT.
in terms of the way he's built and the way he runs and shit.
Okay.
That's
A
the
little more
Wisconsin
aggressive.
running backs, brother.
Okay.
Put him with Breece Hall. That's kind of tough.
Yeah.
I like the curveball that they threw instead of getting Brock Bowers. They went with Fashanu. I mean,
They need offensive line bad. It makes sense to me. And plus, you got Tyron Smith.
old ass.
Yeah, but he knows how to play ball. Put that knowledge to the young guy.
That the injury history don't concern you.
That's why they took the young guy first round.
Yeah.
Fashanu.
I like the Jordan Travis pick too, because I mean we don't know how long Aaron Rodgers really got. Depends how many more ayahuasca trips he takes. Just got to keep them. They got to fix the turf.
Oh, for sure. And then you got Tyrod Taylor, who, just in case Aaron Rodgers goes down, you have a veteran that will actually let you win some games.
Yeah, put Jordan Travis under his wing too. I mean, this could be another like Green Bay situation almost in terms of the quarterback. You bring in a young guy. And let him learn from Aaron for a couple years, and could be solid.
Well, the thing about that, too, is they got Tyrod Taylor, who big journeyman. So two very different paths, learning from them two. I think that'll be solid for him.
So the win total for the New York Jets this season. Why is it not in this article? Oh, here they go. They got a new logo. I forgot.
Boom.
9.5 compared to their 7. 7 from last
You
year.
got there? I think
If they stay healthy, I can see them going over.
You sure they don't have an if in their logo?
We can Photoshop that.
That'd be a great shirt.
New York is.
Yes.
But that's the AFC East, man.